Hey guys, today we're going to be doing things a little bit different in Coach Rozelle's class. He's actually in an art meeting, and so I am going to be kind of doing some dual credit type stuff here today. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Coach Mason. I coach football and baseball here at Lindale High School. I also do OCS, so some of you, a couple of you recognize before. So I know that we normally do the bell ringer right when you come in. This class period got I was supposed to do this later in the day basically, so we're going to do it now. It's going to be the best time. So if you guys go and do your bell ringer, the bell ringer today is very simple. It says if you could move outside of the United States, what would be the deciding factor on where you move to? Like for me, I would like to go to like China, Japan, somewhere over there because I'm very interested in their culture. I love their food, obviously, and that's just a whole different side of the world that I'd really like to see. So we're going to take about 3 minutes. I need you to give me 3 to 5 factors, deciding factors on why you would move to this country that you pick. And then as soon as that time is up, we're going to dive right into it and get on to the physical features of Ecuador. So if you could do your bell ringer for me real quick, that would be awesome. All right, guys, well, we're going to get started on today. When you came in, how many of you guys grabbed a copy of this map? Okay, this is a physical map over the country of Ecuador. It's exactly what's on the screen right here. And we're going to be using this today to fill out the worksheet that was passed out to you while you were doing your bell ringer as well. And so we're going to need this map. You're going to need this map. And you're going to need to fill this out. And then you're going to need to save space at the bottom for the second part of the assignment today. But this is the map of Ecuador. If you guys don't know where Ecuador is, it's right east in the Pacific Ocean of South America. It is to the southwest of the country of Colombia. You all heard of Colombia. Pretty good at soccer. And then it is to the northwest of the country of Peru. How many of you guys have ever heard of Peru? All right, there's a few that raise your hand. And then, of course, this is a standard map. It's got your elevation height right here. It's got your latitude, your longitude. It's got the legend that we'll be going over shortly. And then it's got a zoomed-in kind of version of the Galapagos Islands. See, here's the Pacific Ocean. Here, I'm not used to using these. Here is the Pacific Ocean. The Galapagos, Islands are over here to the west of Ecuador. So this again is Ecuador. And on this legend, we're going to go over that real quick. I'm going to be using the legend on the screen. You can reference the legend on the screen, or you can reference the legend on the map that was passed out to you. This thicker kind of dotted blue line right here at the bottom and around the side is the international boundary. This is what separates country to country. You see that it kind of goes in between Colombia and Ecuador, and then as Colombia and Ecuador kind of merge with Colombia and Peru, the line keeps going. That's a separation of other countries. So if you ever see a line like that, that is an international boundary dividing countries. There's one at the northern part of the United States, right under Canada. There's one at the southern part of the United States, north of Mexico. So you get a chance at the end of class or some time, pull up some other maps, some other physical feature maps, and locate the international boundary. Then you have the smaller, thinner blue lines. These are, of course, rivers. Then you have the black triangle. This represents a mountain peak. Okay, you see these are elevated plains, elevated land, probably mountain ranges. This is Chimborazo. We'll call it that. Okay, we'll call it Chimbo for short. It's 6,310 meters above sea level. It seems to be the only mountainous peak in Ecuador. And then you have the red triangles. Anybody know what the red triangles are without looking? Volcanoes. Volcanoes, yes. You got Pichincha volcano. You got Volcan Cotopaxi and Tungarua. We'll call it Tungarua. We'll call it Tunga. So there's 3 volcanoes kind of right in a row right there. And then, of course, you have the country capital, Quito, which is in the northern part of Ecuador. It's kind of pretty close to a volcano. I'd be kind of worried, not sure how active that volcano is. And then, of course, you've got the Pacific Ocean to the west. You've got Colombia to the north, Peru to the south. And then, how many of you guys know what runs right through the northern part of Ecuador? That is the equator, this line right here, the center line for the globe. How many of you guys know of any other country on the equator? Oh, Ecuador, right, I got you. And then, of course, we have, like I said, we're going to go through it real quick. We have the country capital, we have mountain ranges, we have volcanoes, this is your legend, and then this is just no lines, no anything. This is the map of Ecuador that was handed out to you at the beginning. So how many of you guys did not receive a worksheet when you first came in? All right, good. So all of you have one. So use your map to fill this out. What we're going to do is you're going to fill out, obviously, your name and date, because you don't get credit without your name. The date, just because it's courteous. And then I need you to fill out the country. What country are we talking about? Ecuador. What continent is Ecuador on? How many of you guys ever remember Sesame Street growing up? They had the continent song, the 7 continents: Asia, Africa, Australia, Europe, North America, South America, Antarctica. There was a song, and I think I just butchered it completely. But those are the 7 continents, okay? Ecuador is in what continent? South America, okay? Then you will use the map, and then we're also going to let you use your iPad. You can use an atlas, you can pull up Ecuador in Google. Try using a more reliable source other than like Wikipedia or just, Google Maps. Like, find something that's got some substance to it, something that you can really use. And what we're going to want you to do is we're going to want you to, on this piece of paper here, we're going to want you to label, or sorry, you don't label. You would write all the rivers, the major rivers in Ecuador. You've got all the major mountain ranges, which Chimborazo could be the only one. All the volcanoes, which for the looks of it, there's 3. You got the oceans. How many oceans are there? That's right, 1, the Pacific Ocean. Then you've got surrounding countries. Okay, this is kind of a zoomed in map, but this is where Peru is. This is where Colombia is. They meet right here. So are there any other countries around it? Consider that one free. Then the last one is valleys. Okay, the one on the bottom is, are there any valleys? Okay, if there is there a name for them? If not, if you can't find a name for it, you can write, yes, there are valleys, no name found. And then the one right above it, I don't know why we flipped those the way they did. Are there any unique features? Are there any unique features about the country of Ecuador? I mean, is there anything weird about the shape? I really like this thing. Is there anything weird about the shape? Is there, this could be like a lake. Right, that's like Lake Palestine, I guess, for Ecuador. Then you've got kind of like, I guess that's the Gulf of Ecuador. Actually, it is. There you go. You learn something new every day. And then you got the Pacific Ocean. What about that country is unique? And then at the end, at the bottom, we've left you about 1/3 of a page. So I don't need a lot, probably 8 or 9 sentences. What are the climate effects of the location of the equator? Okay, we saw that the equator runs through the northern part of Ecuador. Okay, if you look at other countries that the equator runs through, their weather, their climate's kind of jacked up. Okay, because it's a central part, it's weird, it's really hot and rainy and just bleh. And so, what are the climate effects on the location of the equator? So you can ask yourself, and I'll reword that, what are the climate effects on the northern part of Ecuador due to the location of the equator? And then the second question, and I'll leave these questions up for you, do any of the physical features of the country have an effect on the climate in Ecuador? And by that, I'm saying, does Mountain Chimborazo have any effect on the weather? Does Volcano Tungarua cause more rain or less rain based on that? So those are the questions. Again, what are the climate effects on the location of the equator? You don't have to write the question. Yeah, okay. Now, I knew that's what you were going to ask. And do any of the physical features of the country have an effect on the climate? Okay? Take your time. Try not to get too loud. You can use your iPad. This is a work alone assignment. And then at the end, as long as we have time, which we should. I don't have my phone. I'm not supposed to have a phone. So he doesn't have a clock. So just work until the bell. You get done. Just kind of like I said, look at some other maps and go through that. And so you will turn these in, and Coach Roselle will grade them, and then you'll discuss them tomorrow. So take your time, go over these. If you have any questions, I'll kind of be walking around the room and just kind of checking on things, making sure everything's going good. All right? Good.